All right, let's jump right in. We're going to tackle one of the biggest things that holds growing firms back, referrals, but more specifically, how you can stop just hoping they show up and start actually engineering them, turning them into a predictable, automated engine for your business.
This quote, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? You could be making an incredible income, absolutely crushing it. But if that income depends entirely on you, on your memory, on you finding a spare moment to make a call, you haven't built a business. You've just built yourself a very comfortable, very shiny, and very, very fragile golden cage. This really lays out the two different worlds you can live in. Over on the left, you've got hope-based marketing. Let's be honest, that's not a business strategy. It's a job, and it's a job that stops the second you get buried in other work. But on the right, that's where you want to be. Engineered referrals. It's systematic, it's automated, and the most important part, it builds an asset that works for you, instead of a job that works you to death.
So let's really dig into this idea of the golden cage, because a huge gross commission income, or GCI, can be one of the most dangerous things for your business. It feels great, but it can mask a really unstable foundation. And the dangers are so real. When the whole system relies on you, guess what? You become the single point of failure. That's a direct line to burnout. But it also hits you in the wallet, even if you don't see it. It absolutely crushes your firm's valuation, its cap rate, because potential buyers see what it really is. Not a scalable business, but a high-stress, exhausting job that depends on one person.
So let's put a name to this invisible cost. This constant drain on your business that comes from just being human and forgetting things. It's called the fragility tax.
And here's the thing about the fragility tax, you'll never see it on your P&L statement. It's the massive, invisible penalty you pay every single time you mean to follow up but get distracted. It's the cost of a past client forgetting how great you were. This tax is what's starving your business of the predictable pipeline it so desperately needs to grow.
Okay, enough of the problem. Let's talk about the solution. How do we get out of this trap? Well, it requires a massive shift. You have to stop being the hero who does all the work and start being the architect who designs the system. It's all about moving from manual labor to systemic execution.
And this chart just shows the difference so perfectly. Instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping clients remember you, you build an actual post-close sequence. Instead of frantically searching for free time, the entire process is run by a strict SLA, a service level agreement, right in your CRM. You literally go from exhausting and totally unreliable to predictable and built to last for years.
This right here. This is the core idea of this whole explainer. Waiting for referrals is for amateurs. The pros, the institutional-grade platforms, they don't wait, they don't hope, they engineer the call.
And when you do this, the payoff is just huge. You're not just getting a couple more leads. You're taking all that amazing client gratitude and turning it into an automated lead generation machine. Your firm starts generating its own pipeline, which means you get a real ROI on the people you hire. And, maybe best of all, you finally, permanently break the link between your revenue and your personal level of exhaustion. That's freedom.
Okay, so theory's great, but how do we actually put this into practice? It comes down to a really simple, repeatable system called the three-step advocate loop. This is how you make referral generation an operational reality.
And it really is this straightforward. First, you identify your champions, your top 10 past clients who think you're the best thing since sliced bread. Second, you set up an automated trigger in your CRM, a set it and forget it system to send them something genuinely valuable every 60 days. And third, and this is key, you engineer the ask. You script it, you plan it for those peak value moments to actively kickstart the referral loop. No more hoping, just executing.
And look, this isn't a quick fix, it's a long-term play. As you can see here, this is a fully automated 24-month plan. It starts literally 2 days after closing and runs for 2 full years with strategic, high-value touchpoints. The system does all the remembering and all the work for you.
So, what's the whole point? It's this. This specific artifact, this system, is purpose-built to solve one problem. It completely removes the accidental referral constraint, which, you guessed it, is the very thing that builds that golden cage to begin with.
All right, now we get to the real gut check moment. It's time to take off the producer hat and put on the captain's hat. It's time to think about building a real, durable platform. And that means asking yourself some pretty tough, high-stakes questions.
Just let that sink in for a second. If your entire business model for getting new clients relies on your personal effort and your memory,
You are actively leaving millions of dollars of enterprise value just sitting on the table, totally up to chance.
So here's question number 1. We call it the absence test. And be brutally honest. If you took off for a full year, no calls, no emails, just gone, would your team and your systems autonomously generate referrals based on a preset plan, or would the whole pipeline just dry up and blow away?
Next up, the autonomy check. And this one can be a little tough to swallow. Have you actually empowered your team with the tools and the authority to run this system? Or is your ego secretly hoarding those relationships because you need to be the one to get that call of gratitude? Because true scale only comes when you're willing to let go.
And finally, the asset validation. That high income you're earning, is it the return on a valuable, sellable asset? Or is it just a subsidy for a fragile operation that falls apart the second you get busy or forget to follow up? Is it a business, or is it just a job that you can't ever leave? At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. 3 simple commands. Automate the loop, engineer the referral, build the platform. That's the challenge, but it's also the massive opportunity in front of you. The real question isn't whether you can do this, it's whether you're willing to. Are you going to stay in the cage, or are you going to build a true asset? The choice is yours.